So a couple of y'all asked me to make a video on how to play 5-on-5. Of course, we like to point out the IQ, the basketball IQ and all of these things. So we're going to show y'all, we're going to break down how to play 5-on-5 while also giving you the IQ part of it. What's up, guys? I'm Coach Joe, if you didn't already know. Welcome back to The Advantage. Now, this will be a two-part series because we're going over transition plays and then we're going to go over half court setting. All right, so you asked how to play 5-on-5. We're going to go over both of those settings. First, we're breaking it down with the transition with Rob Dillingham. Basketball is all about scoring, guys. If you didn't know that, now you know. Basketball is all about scoring. So the goal is to put the ball in the basket. You got 5 players on offense, 5 players on defense. Defense is trying to stop the offense from putting the ball in the basket. There are 2 ways to score. All right. Now, this one everybody knows is in the half court setting. All right. So this line right here is the half court. Here, this is our side of the court of where we score. The other one is transition. Transition is basically where the ball is moving up the floor. It's in transit. All right. The ball's in transit and we're trying to move the ball up the floor to get to the basket. That is transition. And today we're going to go over transition. And players like this, my man Rob right here, Rob Dillingham, perfect for transition play. Because of his speed. Dude is fast, all right? And he can push the ball up the court as fast as possible, which is a big part of it. He has good court vision, all right? Anybody pushing the ball up the floor, we want you to have good court vision. Not only that, but he's a good finisher. You don't necessarily have to be a great finisher, but you do need to be able to finish a basketball if you do get to take it from coast, from one side of the court to the other side of the court. And being a good decision maker is key. Basketball IQ is pretty much just decision making. You got to make good decisions. And having good court vision goes along with basketball IQ too, because being able to see and then make the decisions based off of what you see, that's basketball IQ. If you are one of these type of players and you know that you can do these things in transition, that's the easiest buckets you're going to get throughout the game. It doesn't matter if you're playing pickup basketball or structured basketball. Structured basketball is like intramurals, high school, college, pro, pretty much anything with a ref. And the difference of how basketball is played looks a little different because as you can see here, they're moving fast. They're going from one end, the other end really fast, right? They're also playing with a shot clock because they're doing this to get in shape. These are pro athletes here, guys. We're not pro athletes, all right? But in pickup basketball, it does move faster, okay, than a regular basketball game. A regular basketball game gets broken up because of the half court setting, all right, where the ball gets slowed down and they run and play. A lot of people are not good with half court settings, okay? They're not good with structured basketball. They're used to hooping. Open gym, open run, that's hooping, right? Over here, playing basketball where it's structured, you got to run plays, you got to learn game tempo. All right, that's structured basketball. Everybody can't do both. You can if you got the IQ to do it, all right? I have to throw that in there. The amount of effort and IQ, everybody doesn't have it to play fast like this. The amount of coaches that would love to play like this is a lot. The amount of coaches that actually can do not, because you have to have a team that is used to making good decisions. Once you guys turn that ball over, you are now giving the other team a chance to score. Here's the thing, with playing fast, turning the ball over is dang near inevitable. Watch the Warriors. Watch Stephen Curry make the dumbest passes sometimes, a lot of the times, make the dumbest passes and you be like, why did you? Because that comes with the territory of playing fast, all right? And what you want to do is minimize that. So off of a rebound, off of a steal, right? Quickly pushing that ball up the court and trying to get a layup. That is what we call a fast break. All right, so on the break, you hear them say it on TV a lot when watching games. On the break, that's a fast break. That is a form a play within the transition setting. All right, anybody can run a break. So now this is also a transition play. Even though the ball has slowed down, right, and they're setting up screens and moving, right, they are still scoring within, it's like semi-transition. They're still scoring off of that transition. Getting back on defense, first thing, get below the 3-point line. For high schoolers and below, make your way to the paint. All right. In college, it's a little bit different. They may practice it a little bit different depending on the team or the coach. But the goal is to make your way to the paint. This is the paint. The reason why is because if nobody is there to protect home, which is your basket, you don't want nobody to score at your basket, right? If nobody is there to protect home, then what's going to happen? They're going to score in your basket. And what we would like them to do is to shoot a lower percentage shot, right? We don't want them to get an easy layup. I don't care if it's pickup basketball, high school basketball, elementary school basketball. We don't ever want this. I would rather you shoot a step back 3. I would rather you shoot a half court shot, dribble, pull up, like something that's lower percentage than a wide open layup. All right. That's why coaches don't really like people shooting threes and stuff on fast breaks, because it's like, yo, that's a lower percentage shot unless you're Klay Thompson. And this is my second point, but this is really the very first thing. Once you go in transition, stop the ball. If nobody stops the ball early and you're only worried about finding your man, where's my man? If you are closest to the ball, stop the ball. If not, this also turns into a layup. Nobody stopped the ball. So now this man gets all the way to the basket and gets their bucket. Stop the ball. I don't care if that's not your man. Even these are pro basketball players that still allow this to happen. Like it happens. Once again, for my offense, if you're on the break and they don't stop you, go get you one. Go get you one. And here's another tip. If your feet are in the paint, you know that you have made it back on defense before the offense comes down, right? So now it's easier for you to find your man. If you sprint back and get back to the paint, now you can see everything. While they're dribbling down, you can see your man and you can see where the ball is right away. There's no confusion. And we're actually going to go more over the IQ part of it and what's the read. Don't y'all forget about what's the read, because we do this part of the advantage. What's the read is just a separate part of the advantage where we go over the IQ part of it, what that looks like, how to read the defense, all of these things. All right. So don't miss out on that. And to end this video, we're going to go over transition situations. Right. So 3-on-2. Right. There's 3 people coming back on offense, and there's 2 people that only got their feet in the paint. Everybody else is still trying to make their way back to find their man. All right. 2-on-1, 5-on-4. All of these situations happen a lot in transition. All right. So we want to start looking at and paying attention to the decisions that they made. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Please like, subscribe, turn your notifications on if you actually want to learn how to play basketball for real. I'm just saying. All right. Watch the rest of this. Peace.